think about it, the rich understand this, the wealthy understand this. So you look at those who have very successful brands, they're constantly studying the market. They're constantly watching what their audience is doing. There are two principles that I love to live by, and I call them the two S's.
Okay.
And so it's keeping a mindset of being a servant and a student.
Black women in marketing is here to disrupt and make change. Like, put me in an environment and I want to shake the table. I want to do the most. I believe in above and beyond.
I think it's important for creatives to realize that they're not just creatives or just photographers or videographers or whatnot, but we're also problem solvers as well.
So I had to realize too that God deposits in us, and no matter if we don't know how we're gonna get to it or how it's gonna play out, He wouldn't have given us the idea without the way to get there, you know what I'm saying? God is always gonna give you the tools necessary to get to where He's trying to get you to.
Amazon backdrop.
We're here getting set up now for tonight's event. We're super excited. We have a networking event mixed with a live podcast. So I'm one of the panelists. I'm super excited. Here's one of our hosts. His name is Sarah. Finishing setting up.
See me working?
Yeah. We working. We start in about 45 minutes, so we're super excited. Stay tuned.
You think?
One of these back there.
You're smart.
And then put two of these
You're smart.
against the wall, place the food there. Or you can do two tables alongside there or one table and have food there.
How is it 22 now?
Please don't sweat.
He said by 8 other times. What time is it now? You just said it. Chair, any chair. You can move wherever you like and sit down. We have our first panelist. Her name is Gigi. She is a trailblazer in the community space. Y'all, raise my entrepreneur. Make some noise for Gigi. Yes. Oh my gosh, Gigi. Hi.
Hi, Kiana.
Welcome in. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling very blessed.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and it's a pleasure to meet all of you tonight.
Yes, you guys. So we want to basically just get into this. So there's a lot of people here from different backgrounds, different businesses, and we really want to circle in on what the juice is when creating in your niche. So for you, you do networking events.
Yes.
You are a host. You're an entrepreneur. You're also faith-based, which I love.
Yes.
So in a nutshell, could you just tell us a little bit more about what you do specifically?
Yes, thank you so much. So you all, I recently launched a network for entrepreneurs and creators last month, so I'm super excited. So it's called Guide Diamonds in the Rough. And so the network is really designed to help entrepreneurs and creators to build sustainable and future-proof brands, because so often we come across entrepreneurs who have amazing ideas, but they don't know how to build a brand that can stand the test of time. A lot of times we see people come out with a good idea and it looks hot for a while and they believe they're going to be successful, and then after a few months to a year, you're like, what happened to them? And it's because they didn't have the support and the resources to know how to build it from the ground up. So that is what we do here at Diamonds in the Rough Network.
Yes, you have your own events as well.
Yes.
So not just in person, but also digitally.
Digital, yes.
Yeah, when's your next one?
27th of this month, you all. It's a free event. You can meet us on Zoom. It's a fun opportunity for us to connect with like-minded entrepreneurs and creators, learn and grow from one another. So you'll meet people from all over the nation. That's why I love to do it online as well, because you can meet people from anywhere. So
It's really dope. And that's also the really most inspiring thing about running a business, is that
For sure.
it's quickly not just about you.
absolutely.
It's way bigger than just your dream that you had, but
Right.
ultimately, like if we're talking about faith too, it's the catalyst to open up avenues for other people.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
In that sense, how has what you've been doing, even just the last month alone, how have you seen that fruit like blossom?
Man, I tell you, there are two principles that I love to live by, and I call them the two S's.
Okay.
And so it's keeping a mindset of being a servant and a student.
I'm so sorry.
But, you know, I love that.
Say that again.
I love that. So a lot of times we don't feel like we want to be a servant. It sounds ugly. It's like, servant to who? You know, but when you think about it, the rich understand this. The wealthy understand this. So you look at those who have very successful brands. They're constantly studying the market. They're constantly watching what their audience is doing, what's working. They're watching what's trending. And then they learn how to serve it back to their target audience because they see what you like. You know, they're constantly watching it. So that's the mindset that we have to have, is how can we bring value to our target audience? So for me, even since starting my network, it's been beautiful because I've been able to connect with other like-minded entrepreneurs and creators and really see what their needs are so that I can provide it for them. Because the reason that I actually started Diamonds in the Rough is because I always felt like one. I knew that I had potential. I knew that I was supposed to be serving. I knew that I had this light. And I was like, wow, how do I get it out there? I need the right connections. I need the right people. I need somebody to teach me the game. I'm trying to figure it out. And so I became a business manager working for different renowned businesses. And I realized that the game that I was learning, other people need this. Other diamonds in the rough need this. There's so many of us that have something absolutely brilliant within us, and we just need the right community, the right support, the right resources. So that is really why I focus so much on serving people within my niche.
That is so good. That is so, like, I would just want to take a moment to marinate in that. But that is really powerful, because I know a lot of people sometimes, I'm guilty of this too.
Yeah.
Especially starting out in a business. Sometimes it comes from maybe a lack mindset where it's like, I just need to get to this money.
Right.
Or I just need to do this to get this status. Or I just need to
And it
to
sounds
pop
good
off.
in the beginning.
Exactly. But sometimes we forget about the main why of what we're doing.
Yes.
And ultimately, I feel like it always comes back to people. It's really more about quality over quantity.
Absolutely.
And for somebody who might be struggling with that, especially when making their content, maybe they're feeling stuck with, is this good enough? I'm stuck behind the perfectionism of, is this going to go viral? Is anybody going to see
Absolutely.
it? What would you say to them?
I would honestly tell them, remember who you were growing up. Remember who you always saw yourself being. Because if you can stay in touch with that true inner self, no matter what you face, no matter who tries to knock you down, you'll remember your why and you'll stay true to yourself. So stay true to you and what you've always worked for, and you'll be able to stand the test of time and build something incredible.
Wow. Well, Gigi, where can we find you? Everybody pull your phones out right now.
Yes, I would love to have you all. So our next networking event is live on Zoom on the 27th of this month. We would love to have you all. You can find us at diamondsintherough_ on Instagram and TikTok. Also Diamonds in the Rough TV on YouTube. Thank you so much.
Can we make some noise? Please look at her as your example, because she has no fear. she does it so confidently, and on top of that, she does it so artistically, where you're trying to figure out who her photographer is, and then you scroll and you realize it's her. It's literally her the whole time. So I really commend you for that, because that's not easy. Being a director, the stylist, the model, everything all in one. How did you get into that?
So I had a love for styling in like high school, and that's when I got my first camera. I begged my mom for a camera. She got me one for Christmas, and so I started taking my own pictures, which kind of led into me doing photography for everyone else, because my friends are like, girl, you got a camera, take my picture. So that's how I started off doing that, and then once Instagram got like really popular, I just started to like learn more about like different photographers that were in like the fashion space, and I would see certain things. I'm like, okay, I can remake that, or like I see that, or I can do that way better. So let me do it my own, and it's easier to take my own pictures than, you know, like when you have a photographer and they're like, do this, and it's like, I'm nervous. Yeah. When you're doing it yourself, like you have all the time in the world, and it's just easier. Yeah.
So in 2017, I realized that when I was in LA, I realized that all my friends like did music and stuff, and I was just like, we need to make sure that everybody hears it, because I am like, let's do it. I will support you in anything you want to do. So I threw one event called Cherry Pop, obviously, and my name is Cherry. So I threw an event called Cherry Pop, and I really just brought all my artist friends to perform, and everyone I knew that like had a business. So we had vendors, we had tattoo artists, we had food, we had 5 of my best friends like performing, and it just was like so crazy. But then I get imposter syndrome really bad, so the second time I did it, I didn't feel the same, and I was like, okay, I'm never doing this again. What the heck was that? But then I just started doing them again in 2022, and they've just been really amazing. So like I'm super adamant about putting on like emerging artists and brands, and like just building a platform. So I really want to start doing more flea markets and more festival events. We do writing camps for independent artists, and we're going to put out 3 EPs this year. So the first one's coming next month. And yeah, I really just want to, I look at myself as a bridge. I feel like I can help people get from one part of their life to the next. Like I've always seen that for myself. So if you guys ever need anything, we do artist and brand development, like literally whatever you need for yourselves, like I would love to help.
Can we circle this back around to the idea of imposter syndrome? Do we all know what that is? For anybody who does not know what that is, it's when you don't realize your potential and you feel like you're smaller than you actually are, but you're high-key this big gem, but you feel like you're this small, so you like kind of psych yourself out doing the grandiose things that your life deserves of you. Can we talk about that in your scenario? Why do you say you have imposter syndrome? What does that mean?
I'm just really hard on myself, and I feel like growing up, since we were competition dancers, like if you didn't win, you lost. Like that was just point blank period. Like if you're not first place, you're a loser. So I feel like I took that into like my life after competition dance. So it was like when I do stuff, if it wasn't at 100%, like if it wasn't the most perfect thing then it was 0, and I was like, well, that freaking sucks, and now what am I doing? But I had to get out of that, especially like once I got to LA is when like social media really blew up, and like I have a specific way about myself that is like I'm a lot more controlled, I guess. And when I was dancing, like everyone dances very full out. So I'd be like, this is how dance is supposed to look, I suck. But it wasn't like that. I feel like I just had to figure out what worked for me. And I think when I was working with artists too, like a lot of artists don't actually want to dance like that. They just want to be able to move across the stage and like get from one place to the other. And that's like where I thrive. I'm like, I just want to make you look cool. Like I don't want you to be up there doing like full 8 counts if you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? So it's just really fine. Like you really have to love yourself and know who you are and be very okay with that. And I think that just took me a while to like get okay with, you know?
That's so much easier said than done.
Yeah.
You hear this negative voice that's like, oh, no, that actually sucks, don't put that out there.
Right.
But you had the idea first to create in the first place. So once you kind of like understand how God sees you, it almost changes your lens of like how you not only move in the life, but how you create and decipher the words or the voices that you are hearing.
Right.
Can you speak on that for you?
Yeah, I think because I get a lot of ideas. Like I'm someone that once I have an idea, Like if I don't act on it right then and there, I don't like the thought of it going to somebody else. Like, you know what I mean? So I had to realize too that God deposits in us, and no matter if we don't know how we're gonna get to it or how it's gonna play out, he wouldn't have given us the idea without the way to get there, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, as soon as I have an idea, I just have to write it down and let's figure it out. But God is always gonna give you the tools necessary to get to where he's trying to get you to. So that's where, like, even if I'm doubting myself, I'm like, yes, of course I'm gonna doubt myself, everybody's gonna doubt themselves, but God has last say, like, who am I to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's God.
Exactly.
Like, who am I to say no, you know what I'm saying?
As far as creating your content, you do it in a way where you're not just, like, you're developing your personal brand right now. You're also developing artist brands, and then also just brands itself. You're really big on branding, especially, I mean, look, you're cherry, everything's red, everything is cherry. That is the brand. What would your advice be for somebody who's trying to figure out what their branding is, whether it's a personal brand or business brand?
I think someone said it, it's just what problem are you gonna solve? So I know, like, when it comes to me, I have a way of making people who aren't comfortable feel comfortable. I have a way of, like, making people a little bit more confident in what they're doing, and just obstacles I don't see, so I like to, like, get people through obstacles. And that's just me, like, even with my friends, no matter what. So I was like, okay, if this is, like, the natural thing that God has deposited in me, that I can do things for people, where can I bring that into my professional world, or where can I bring it into, like, dance or choreography, or just helping my friends get to the next level in whatever they're doing. So I think it's also, honestly, just see what you're doing naturally, because that's all that's gonna matter, is you being yourself. Like, if you're trying to do something that's unnatural, it's gonna come off unnatural, and everybody's gonna be looking at you like, what is going on? But whatever you're naturally gravitating towards, explore it, see what happens, because it's just gonna take you from one place to the next. Like me, I thought I was gonna be a ballerina in New York, and here I am with celebrities, I guess. It's weird to say, but yeah.
That'd be even better, honestly.
Yeah, because who wants to do ballet all the time?
That's awesome. That's really awesome. I'm very proud of you. I'm really excited for all the things that are coming. Do you know when the next Cherry concert's gonna be?
Okay, guys. We're dropping the EP next month, so we're gonna do a listening party in LA, and then we're gonna do, like, a soft launch event here.
Wait, pause. The EP is fire. You know, like, it's your friends, and you're like, oh yeah, it's really good. But, like, it's actually fire. Okay, cool. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here.
This is cool. This is like the first time anyone has ever asked me to be like in a position like this.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you spoken on panel before?
I mean, I speak to myself in front of my camera, yeah.
And that was also a very humble brag that he just had, because he said, I just speak in front of camera. He's like, not only are you a great filmmaker where everything is very aesthetically, I would say warming is a word that I would use for you.
That's what
you're also very good with words, not just the words that come out, but like your dialect and the way that you speak. Everything is just very warm with you. So it feels very comfortable just off rip, just as your person. Just
Appreciate
as a person.
you.
Yeah.
It's funny because I don't think I've ever gotten an A in English.
Really? No way.
Yeah, and I used to be illiterate when I speak too.
What?
Yeah, 100%. So it was just practice and practice and practice. So
Makes perfect
obviously I
sense.
got good at it.
That's awesome. Well, you're really good at it, obviously.
Appreciate you.
Obviously. So tell us about your filmmaking.
I got my first cinema camera, which is sitting right there.
The Black Magic.
Yeah, the
though.
Black Magic. It's really cool. It's very cheap and low budget for anyone that's interested in getting like cinema cameras. I'm being so for real.
Well,
like,
compared to cinema cameras,
Compared
yeah.
to most, yeah.
But,
Yeah, I mean, filmmaking is cool. I just like doing really dope things, just making really nice, aesthetically pleasing videos. And my biggest thing with creating specifically would be making like the simplistic things look really dope and intriguing. That's like my biggest thing
Yeah.
I like working on.
That's really cool that you say that, because you posted something the other day. Were you making like a smoothie or something?
No, I was making tea.
Okay, you're making tea. You're making tea, but it's like he literally captured a very mundane thing that happens in life, and it was so intriguing that I wanted to know like how you were doing it.
Yeah.
Like you literally just captured yourself making tea, but it felt like a story.
Yeah. Because that's the thing about like creating in general. You don't really have to have such a huge concept or such a huge storyline to make things really dope. It can be as simple as ever, and you'll still get, applaud for it, and it'll still come out fire, in my opinion. And I think that's really good to focus on, because a lot of people, when they make like their first attempts, they try to go above and beyond to the point where it's just too much for them to handle. So obviously you want to start in little steps, and like if you're able to record a cool, aesthetically pleasing video of you making tea at your crib, now you can move on to the next thing, which is the bigger steps, and so on and so on. So
If you gave break it down for a kindergartner, what would those steps look like?
I don't know. I just have the shots in my head.
You just see it.
And then when I just think about it, I just make the placements on my camera and tripod, and then hit record. That's what I did.
Okay. So then when you're seeing it, because I'm the same way as well, where I'll see it in my head and I'm like, is this possible? It's not. It is? Okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
But with you, it's more than just getting cool angles. How do you come up with the story behind it? Or are you just like, I'm just going to go from A to B?
I'm just going to go from A to B.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't like thinking too much, because then, I hope this doesn't sound bad, but if I think too much, it gets too complicated. If it gets too complicated, I get disinterested. So.
Okay, show of hands in the room. Who is a recovering overthinker? There we go. Okay, so we really have this idea of less is more.
Exactly.
And that's where you're driving. So can we really dive into this less is more theory? Because especially nowadays, we're in a very, very, probably the fastest pace of social media that we've ever seen. And it's hard, it feels very hard to keep up. It almost feels like if I miss a day, I'm 5 steps behind. It's like, what's the point of even trying? I'm getting lost in the current. So what would your advice be?
Yeah, like I said previously, in regards towards making things more simple for you as possible, I would say just trying to go with the little things and then moving forward from there. But also with less is more, a big thing that people overthink is equipment. I'm not trying to talk my talk or nothing for real, but you can have the most simplistic setup and still be extremely successful with what you do. I remember, I think it was a few months ago, over the springtime or summer, I did a campaign shoot for Reebok. And when doing that campaign shoot, it was headlined on their website and stores, all that good stuff. And it's funny because their budget that, they secured for us was a really nice looking budget, honestly. But that was shot with just one camera, one lens that was less than $600.
Wow.
And people think you need to spend thousands of dollars on equipment. The camera that I still use to this day is the very first camera that I bought, because it just works so well, And people don't know these things. They think you need to buy such extensive equipment when in actuality, you really don't. You just need to know how to use your camera, if that makes sense.
That's really tangible to walk away with. Alrighty. Wow. Hey. Isn't she beautiful? Yeah. Black women in marketing is honestly a powerhouse. Can you speak about how that came to be?
It's literally the name, take the name as literal as you want it. It's over 600 women all over the world a part of this resource group. And basically, I was always the only person in my space. So any room I walked in, marketing, health, whatever I was doing, I was the only Black girl. But when it came to marketing, it was the thing that I was most passionate about. So I was like, why do I feel so alone in this industry? And this is 2017 at the time, and I'm like, what do I do with this? I don't feel seen, I don't feel heard. I don't even think people understand what marketing is, but I was so nerdy about it. I was doing all this research marketing this, and you need a logo, you need a brand guide, you need a website, you need a social media strategy, and people are looking at me crazy, 2017 looking at me crazy. And I'm like, I'm gonna start an agency. So I started an agency, and it was my business partner at the time, but within the agency, I was like, I still need Black women in marketing to happen.
Yeah.
So it started off as an internship, and I had 5 girls apply, hired all of them, and I taught them how to execute marketing strategies like I did. So I was like, great, these 5 girls want to work for me now. I actually need to do more. I was doing all this talking, all this training. Once they're done, now what? So over time, I want to say organically, I created the pages, and through word of mouth, it was like, who is Black, like what is Black women marketing? And people just started to follow. And it became Black women in advertising, Black women in sports, Black women in influencer marketing, Black women in whatever. And now we are all here together. Like it's beautiful and amazing because I'm just a founder, and I do get like emotional about it, so sorry. But I'm just like a founder, and I'm now positioning other people to be in a space that's we are less than 1% of. So that's how that started. Just
Can we talk about, okay, first of all, how old were you in 2017? Do you remember?
I had just graduated. I'm 29 now. Y'all know how to do math?
I was like, what,
22, 23? Makes sense. We'll run with that. Starting a business at 23, 22? Mm-hmm. And now we have how many? 600. That's crazy. Can you talk about the emotions, the doubt, all the things that were happening in that to make it press go?
Yes. I think after the interns, it was like, one, do I have enough to give by myself? And then two, did I empower them enough to succeed on their own? And I wasn't successful, or I didn't measure success by like how many people were in the org. So I was taking on clients. So Black Women in Marketing is a resource group and an agency. So on the agency side, we help people with their businesses. On the resource group side, I'm helping girls get jobs in marketing. So success for me looked like, did you get a job? Did you learn something from me? Are you employed? Are you stable? Are you happy? Is it more than one of us in the room? Like that was my measure of success, and it was hard to maintain that. So I was like hard on myself because it's like I'm making very slow change. In 2017, we were less than 0.1%. Wow. Currently in 2024, we are less than 3%. It took all that time just to get to 3%. And even though it's slow progress, it feels like it's never enough. Like I haven't even reached the amount of women that I want to reach. And it's like, now what? Like we're going, people are getting jobs. Like now when I walk into a room, there's 2 of us, but why is it so slow? Like where do I find the why? How do I find the why? How do I fix it? And it takes all 600 of us to fix it and more.
Wow. I know you're still like, it's taking time, but what do you think would be the solution, not just for Black women, but also for people of color, or people of minority, or just any type of community? What do you think the solution would be to get more people in the rooms, besides time?
You know, it takes disruption. Like, Black Women in Marketing is here to disrupt and make change. Like, I love chaos. I think I just told somebody that. Like, put me in an environment and I want to shake the table. I want to do the most. I believe in above and beyond. So it looks like all of us being together. And even in like the spaces with Black men, you guys are 15% of marketing. Wow. Like, y'all got it. Like, we're trying to get to 5%. And even though that's not enough, you're still looked at first before us. And it's not a competition, but how can you guys also amplify us? And I think it just takes collaboration. And I think it just takes someone to disrupt with me. And my friend in LA, we did like a program together last year, and he was like, I'm about to start Black men in marketing. I'm like, okay, like let's do it. Like now what? Find them and let's make that happen. And I think we just all need to just be together and support.
Yeah. I love that. Okay, so we're gonna take an intermission. Go to the bathroom. We'll be back in like 5 minutes. Cool.
Hey, you all. So it's Gigi from Diamonds in the Rough, and we are here today with Nyjah. How are you? We're doing really good. So I'd love for you to tell us what you do and shout out your upcoming YouTube channel.
Okay, yes. So I have a commercial cleaning business. We do B2B. I also do short-term rentals, so Airbnbs. And then I'm starting my YouTube channel soon.
Very nice. And so what is your main topic going to be about?
It's going to be Black influence,
Very nice.
financial literacy, everything Black.
Y'all can follow me on Instagram. I am Lydia Sharice, LYDIASHERICE. Come on. And I have a QR code if I want that too easy access. Get a link tree. Make your life so much easier. Come on. That's all. Thank you. Yeah, go here.
Hi guys. Hey. My name is Diamond. I'm a professional makeup artist. I do bridal, film, private events, whatever. I'm also a dancer and choreographer. And I moved to LA on Wednesday. I will be Michael's school, going back and forth, so you can still book me. I do travel.
That's right.
For the most part, that's all I do. So if you need a makeup artist still, hit me up. My makeup page is DNA Creations with an 8. My personal page is I am Diamond Kim. And if you guys want to follow me, you can come to me and I'll give you my QR code.
Nice.
I'm Jacob. I'm a music studio owner and content creation studio owner. We have 2 locations, one in Rockville, one in DC. It's called highlife.studio. And basically my purpose of coming here today, I wanted to meet people who want to create their own shows. So if you're just someone who has a good idea, but you need the cameras, the lights, the audio, the engineering, putting it together, creating the short form reels, we could do that. And I wanted to also meet people that wanted to host their own events. So we host a lot of like skincare events, artist competition events. We're really in the creative arts field. So highlife.studio. Thank you.
We got 2 more.
We got 2 more.
I'm a fitness instructor. I teach glutes, Pilates, senior fitness, step aerobics, and I just started my certified personal training. So found instructions. Oh, my Instagram is Vibe Fit Studios. That's VYBE Fit Studios with an S at the end.
Yeah, y'all, seriously get in her fitness classes, so follow her so you can follow her around.
My name's Nebs, and I also do digital marketing like a lot of people here too. But not only do I do digital marketing, I also do stand-up comedy as well. If you guys do want to see me perform in the DC area, I'm always performing at DC Comedy Clubhouse and DC Improv. My Instagram is nebs.a. Shoot me a follow and get connected.
Business/brand in 10 years.
So I don't know if you guys know like South by Southwest is, but it used to be like people go there and discover artists. Now it's a little bit more commercialized. But in 10 years, I see Cherry Pop kind of being like the Coachella of that, where we go to a big festival to discover artists, not to just see who we can see at any time, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I see for myself. You wanna go?
Yeah, sure. I see my business becoming a very strong production company. So yeah. 100%.
Can I go? Yeah. All right, I'll go. So in the next 10 years, I see my business being a hub for creatives. So what you guys are seeing right now is literally the newborn era of it. But basically, I would like to have a hub of a facility that houses creatives where they can have a safe place to come shoot their projects. They have a safe place to work. It's like a co-working. And then there's also a spot where they can train, because I have a dance and fitness background. So I believe it's a work-life balance where you can come, you can work, you can play, and you can live healthily. So essentially it's a place where there's a production studio, there's a built-in gym, and there's also a performance space where you can have all 3 in one.
That's fire.
All right.
I think for me in 10 years, I see Diamonds in the Rough Network having made hopefully global impact for rising entrepreneurs and creators. I believe that I'm called to help people who are a diamond in the rough, people who have potential that hasn't been seen yet. So I want to be able to connect with upcoming artists, upcoming entrepreneurs, people who are just talented in their own right, and really get them out there, help them to shine. So
I think it's important for creatives to realize that they're not just creatives or just photographers or videographers or whatnot, but we're also problem solvers as well. Because every single day when we're dealing with clients or just day-to-day routines, there's always something that's going to arise no matter what. But I think the biggest thing is being able to work around it and maneuver that routine for yourself, which makes us creative. So
We as creatives have to like find value in what we do without validation. So I haven't had somebody say like, hey, I'm having a hard time getting a client or product or whatever. It's more so I'm having a hard time identifying who I am or what my brand is, because that's usually the problem versus their talent. If you know your why, which is why I said that earlier, and your brand, you won't have that problem.
Can we make some noise one last time for our panelists? You guys can stay up here. You can go back to your seats, but we're going to do the thing that you guys have been waiting for. We have our winners, our raffle winners. Everybody get your tickets out. This is for the business basket. This is by Uriah's Couture Baskets. Where are you? Oh, you're right here. Please come, please come. I want you to do the honors of this. Again, you guys, he's 15. He's in high school.
1366882.
Oh yeah.
So, everybody in here has a business, right? Or starting one, thinking about starting one. The biggest thing right now is how you're presenting on the online space. Even if you're brick and mortar, whatever you do, you're going to need to present yourself. We are doing the thing. We help you do that, not only with your photography, but also getting your branding together, like I said. So you're going to be getting a free photo shoot, and that's a starter one, so you'll be getting a number of photos, a number of short form videos, and then from there, going through your branding identity, making sure it makes sense for your brand. So Rod's going to help you with the marketing aspect of it to get it pushed out as if it was your first branding campaign. Cool? All right, everybody look at your tickets. I'll read the first, I have to do the second. 1366.
884.
That's me. Woo!
Who's first? Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you.
You guys can just, I know there's probably some people here that you've been meaning to talk to, dying, itching to talk to.
Itching.
There's a lot of food back there you've been dying and itching to eat. So make sure you do both of those things.
Yeah, and make sure you guys follow both of us. My personal, Kiana Wood, KIANA Clever.
Siraj Woods, SIRAAJWOODS.
We're turning the lights on, and you guys just mingle until 11 o'clock.